humans. It is I, your human friend Ben, and my human friend.
Day.
We are playing some Pyre, as humans would. Yeah, we're back.
With our
With our
really not tentacle-like
yes,
hands.
it is hands things and hand feet with which we play.
Yeah.
We just sent Tay to gain the blessing of her personal scribe, and we'll see what's happening with that. We are about to spoiler warning. We are about to free Delbert, the old dog, cause he fucking earned it.
Yeah, as long as his people nominate them.
Yeah, it did. I mean, they must.
Yeah, let's hope so. Is this all part of your plan, O scribes? I know I need not ask, just as I know the path you have laid out takes many turns. Please help us navigate that path. My friends and I wish to find our way together with your blessings. Soon she's finished paying her respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Golathian has shown you favor. You soon shall ascend the mountain, though there is now time to pursue your vocations.
Woohoo, vocations! And more hope. Accept that blessing. Alright, let's see. So I think there was still one left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk first.
Huh?
With Tay.
Tay seems to be talking to the Black Wagon's walls again, though this time something seems to have come over her.
This time.
What do you mean this time? Little brother, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, we all like to know.
What is wrong with me?
Oh my god.
What is wrong with me? Tay, calm down. You are unsure whether to check in with her or leave her be.
Leave.
Yeah, please, let's get her attention.
Tay is acting rather odd, even for her. Wait and listen. Tay would not be here if she lacked the capacity to work through her problems.
Yeah, but still.
Your concern for her is such that you had best check in to make sure she's alright. So get her attention?
Yeah, please. Though Tay is clearly capable of surviving on her own, you do worry for her, and in this case, make an attempt to reach out to her. Oh, hi miss, I don't think I saw you there just now, and so my little brother here and I were just talking for a little while.
Yeah, sure you were.
It's so amazing how much more coherent she is when she's in her head.
Yeah. I think she's possessed.
Well, I was the one doing the talking, while my little brother, he's just a wagon wall, so he cannot respond. He can't respond, but he can listen, and he listens really well. No, I'd like to get back to my conversation here with him, if you don't mind, and you're welcome to stay, though, if you like.
Well, it's my wagon, so...
It seems Tay's doing alright, after all.
She's clearly not. She did invite you to stay. Perhaps you will learn something of her. Yeah, let's embrace the madness.
You decide to take Tay upon her invitation and keep listening to her conversation with the wagon wall, her little brother, as she calls it. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I remember! It's that they always said there was something wrong with me, but they wouldn't really tell me what. They said I was moon-touched, but so what?
Moon-touched? Those deemed impaired by Commonwealth standards of very different negative sense. What? Those deemed impaired by Commonwealth standards or very different in a negative sense. Alright.
So then the scribes, they called me here. They are the ones who brought me here, not those people. They were so cruel. They were always so cruel.
Oh, I get it. Moon-touched. Lunatic.
Yes.
Ah.
Welcome to this.
Yeah, I am smart.
I didn't have a little brother at the time. No one that I recall, really. Although so much of it back then, I can tell you how much of it I dreamt. Most of it, I didn't want it to be true. But I remember that they threw me out. They decided they would throw me out and let the scribes take care of me, they said. The scribes, they would take care of me.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus. It was so very quiet here and I was all alone again, although I think I liked it more, being alone down here than being alone back there. Everybody's alone down here, and so it makes me feel less alone somehow. Back here, why I would sometimes see families, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, but here there was hardly anyone at all. But I knew I was closer to the scribes. I knew that they were in the sky above and I could search for them up there, you know. And then one night I found them. I saw the stars and they were falling to the ground. And I thought, why is it the scribes themselves are crying? Are they sad? And maybe are they sad for me? Well, that was when I first saw you, little brother. With your help, I would get closer to the scribes. That way, maybe they could answer all my questions, don't you think? Wow. But I'm so very glad I found you and the others. I'm finally not alone. I'm finally not alone, and more importantly, I think sometimes I even feel that way, that I'm not alone.
Oh, this is a bag of bats.
Maybe as we get closer, maybe I will get to feel that way more often, being here or being anywhere with you and all my friends. She felt silent. Though you were concerned for her at first, you sense that now she is at peace. She wanders off, faintly smiling. You sense that you have a better understanding of her now.
Alright. Great. This is great to know that. Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. I mean, it's probably just what we learned. Oh. Tay.
Biography is she was a special child left abandoned, and despite her seemingly simple nature, she possessed a strange affinity for the old way. One day, she was taken in by the authorities, and when she revealed her vexations about the scribes, she was deemed witless. When no one claimed responsibility for her, she was cast into exile. In the downside, she has wandered aimlessly in search of more clues about the legendary heroes who so fascinate her.
Wow. Cool. Okay, let's do some study in private.
You remain intent on further study of the Book of Rites and find a place where you can concentrate upon it. Through greater understanding comes the reader's influence.
More glory.
The book seems to push back against you. Your sense of its hidden meaning crumbles under layers of contradiction, of missing details, and yet you feel a thorough knowledge of it now.
Yeah. Bend your knee, book.
It is more artifact than book. Its power almost solely rests with the reader, who makes time to form a certain meaning from the many passages unwritten. Yet the glimpse of knowledge you approach just then called back at you to stop and go no further, not to press too forcefully against the outer limits of your understanding.
Is that so?
Nevertheless, for what you recognize shall have to be the final time inspiration comes to you in the flesh, whether from the book or from within, even now you cannot tell. Yay.
Righteousness. Alright, cool. Yeah, that was probably last vocation.
You look up to see the lone minstrel there. You had not noticed him. He looks up at you with his strange eyes, a color not unlike the bindings of the book, and he smiles at you faintly.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The moment passes, and he turns to go about his business.
Yeah, please, don't explain anything.
Yeah, that was totally not creepy. He leaves you there. You realize you are clutching the Book of Rites to your chest. You manage to pull away.
Wow, we are some damaged people.
Yeah, with some book demon.
Yeah, oh my god, there's even more. Punishing in favor and Tizo. Yeah, let's throw Tizo some scraps. actually...
En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monumental Lustorian, and Tilso happens to take notice.
No. Oh yeah, that's me. Please tell grandfather I said hello, old friend. I hope you're alright among the stars. You must know why the stars are fading out, because none of us do, and some of us, I think, are beginning to feel afraid. Please grant us courage to press on.
Soon he is finished paying his respects.
I actually want him to give like a Barry White voice, but I think I can't.
As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that the Lustorian has shown you favor.
Ooh. 2 presents. Oh.
It's so sad.
Oh god, again.
You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scribe's Gate before an archway carved of stone where stands the Gate Guardian.
And what a guardian you fucking are.
Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the rites begins drawing to a close.
Oh, so you know something we don't?
The Nightwings accept this as the will of the scribes. The Gate Guardian laughs at this, softly for some reason. And you, Tariq, do you accept the will as well?
Oh.
But the lone minstrel does not answer her.
Of course it doesn't.
It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you come forth and state what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. When Volfred takes his turn, Celeste stops him.
Oh.
You! I see you wear the raiments once again. Explain.
As if anyone needs to explain shit. The cycle of the rites is ending. While I do not know exactly why, I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes this triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. True Nightwings, the splinter faction from the scribe's most favored triumvirate, led by the demon Oralek.
I remember well the contemporary in whom you mean. Then the Nightwings stand divided.
That's not how it works. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's just a name. I mean, he actually... I don't know. It seems like a higher form of bureaucracy. Yes. And so I wear the raiments once again, in case that it may help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side, and bring our freedom to the people there.
She considers Volfred's words for a moment. I see. Then move along.
You are the worst gatekeeper ever.
The Guardian of Scribe's Gate regards you all, and then she beckons you on. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory.
No, we will.
Celeste. What is it, Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have you both followed it. I think you would agree. In equal measure has it drawn us close as separated us. But if the aim now is to keep us apart for another age or longer, then no, I do not accept their will. I knew it!
Yeah, absolutely.
You blaspheme, Tariq, and at the gate, no less. But but the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes themselves admonish me until tomorrow night, Celeste.
Oh, smooth. Yeah, she didn't have to. Didn't seem to have a problem with blasphemy as the fucking harpies cheated.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't let that go.
But I just thought of what Celeste and the Lone Minstrel remind me of. those two people. I don't know what it's called in English. Like a weather clock. You know those things that tell you whether it rains or
Oh
the sun
yeah,
shines?
yeah. The what's it called? I know what you mean. Yeah. Is this a weather vane? No.
Yeah, no, the weather vane is the thing on top of your roof.
Oh, then I actually don't know what you mean. I thought you meant that.
It's a little house, and you have it like hanging on the wall, and it's usually a man and a woman.
Ah,
And she
alright,
comes
yeah.
out when the sun shines, and he comes out when it will rain, and they can never meet.
Oh yeah. Huh.
I'm going to look up before the next episode what that stuff is called. Having reached the peak of Mount Elodil again, you cannot help but reflect on whether one of your companions may go free this night, or may remain stranded in the downside as Pembertha did after last time. Yeah, well.
Yeah. Who? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Who fucking else? Yes, Volfred. What is it?
Volfred looks up as you approach and smiles.
Of course. I never thought that I would say such things, my girl, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rights once more. The march of time does not have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Oigi. Please, personal space, Volfred. Ours was a triumvirate of exactly 3, well, 4, with Tiso, who proved to be an exception. Though, historically, the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brighton, and my former companions, Risa and Aurelek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there is more you wish to learn of them. Yeah, sorry, that was Freudian. Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
I think we should ask.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go from top to bottom and start with Brighton. Thus far, you have heard only passing reference to Volfred's predecessor on the Nightwings.
You inquire about Brighton, whom you understand was liberated prior to when Volfred first joined the Nightwings.
I'm sorry, I need a drink real fast. Like, in real life. Because my fucking throat is killing me. Alright, let's do this. I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now. Though, for that matter, my girl... Wait, I never met Brighton in person? How did you not meet him?
Because he was liberated before.
Oh, Wait. Okay, so the demon guy was the one who got pushed, the girl died actually, and he was liberated. Alright, got it. So do you.
He studies your reaction for a moment, then...
Brighton was born wealthy, but not special otherwise. You would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Risa and Aurelek, who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Aurelek gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I soon would hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book, which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice.
Volfred looks at you, as if to see if you take his meaning.
Yeah, snarky guy sounds kinda like Alan Rickman. You see, my girl, after Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth, and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, it is his, dun dun dun. He is no longer Brighton. He is now none other than the Archjustice Androbilus the Ninth. Yeah, himself. Archjustice Androbilus the Ninth, the Grand Judge and figurehead under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. Those who violate the law, which we already know. So...
How does that work exactly?
Yeah, it kind of works. I mean, so... Brighton gets liberated. Volfred gets reeled in as the new reader for the Nightwings.
Yeah.
And Brighton hates his guts, so he, like, harasses him via voicemail, basically.
Yeah, but...
Seems...
He is no longer...
Yeah, he's no longer Brighton, he's now the fucking Archjustice Andromedes. Like the Pope,
yeah,
I guess.
But...
And probably that gives you superpowers to talk to people who got exiled?
Yeah, alright, I guess.
I guess Volfred will explain right now. Shit. Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their old triumvirates. They have much to thank them for. Not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. Their public pasts are nothing but a fabrication. Like Brighton, they once were exiles too. Brighton, that voice. He has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well what we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the traditions of the rites. Oh, so that's why. Like, first he felt contempt because we were the Nightwings. Then he was like, ah, well, they do good. And now he's like, oh shit, they want to overthrow the government. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain. Yes, he does. But I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen you in the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time.
Yep.
If that's a path you'd wanted to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about on length? Erisa, she betrayed Oralek, causing the Nightwings to fall apart. Why would she do such a thing?
Yeah, because she wanted to be free. You ask about Erisa, whom you understand betrayed Oralek at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shimmer Pool.
I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my girl. But I suppose you ought to know something of Erisa's past, let you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made. But her life, I understand, was very difficult. Erisa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. I did it right. I did actually do foulest right. For the first time in this whole playthrough. You could see it plainly branded on her face. Such was the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking up the post left by her brother. He had fallen in battle on the Blood Border, despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered after this and had grown cruel and detached. It was Erisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day it was all too much for her, so when next he lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again, and again. With a spoon.
Why a spoon? Why not an axe?
Because it hurts more. Actually, it was a double reference. One for Robin Hood and one for that fake trailer of the slowest murderer of all time. So whoever got that, you are a kid of the 90s, I guess. Or 80s. When they came for her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Erisa always was intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. Excuse me. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the High-Wing remnants a great siege engine that could shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. It's a battering ram cannon. It shoots battering rams. Reference day.
Oh god.
This is so stupid. Yeah, I guess you have all seen Star Wars by now. It's yeah, whatever. What she ultimately did to Oralek, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that is why. I do not think that is why simply evil. Wait, what?
That it was simply evil.
Oh, that it was simply evil. Nor do I think that it was personal. I often wondered though if, in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool, she understood what she had done and the depth to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit, I hated her, but now my only hope is that she found a peace untenable during her relative short life in the Downside and the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Erisa offers some perspective yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, was there something else? Yes.
Yes.
About Oralek, the demon we met. What was he like before? We heard he was a chirurgeon. Physician, whatever.
You asked about what Oralek was like when he and Volfred first became acquainted. Volfred remained silent for some time.
But only for some time. I was very, very sick, you know. So sick. When I first landed in the Downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. I'm a plant, you know. It was Oralek who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician. Intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Oralek, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. This sowed in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed. So he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the hiring remnants. And since you met Temetha, you know how that probably went. It must have gone about how you'd expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the Downside. Here, he gained the notice of the Nightwings, and before long, he grew to be one of the finest rites conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the Triumvirate were later filled by Erisa and me. In time, Oralek's own opportunity for freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that, with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point.
Volfred breathes a heavy sigh.
He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think he was gone, and now I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. I am confused. He's our adversary now, transformed, grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives and ruins our day. Make no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Oralek or anyone. As I have said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Oralek, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my girl?
Oh.
No, actually, Ned, farewell.
You bid Volfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories.
No, he's not done. I'm sorry.
I wanted to say that this is a good
no,
point to
it's,
cut, but
it's not. Volfred will never leave us alone. Actually, I think he talked more than the voice actually talked to us. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on... shit! Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much farther we have yet to go. Alright, thanks. Jeez.
yeah.
Fuck.
I looked it up, by the way, and those things are called Weatherhouse.
Weatherhouse. Yeah, that makes sense.
Ein Wetterhäuschen.
Shit. I still can't... I still have that band and thanks. Right, the song is called Holy Branches. The album is called Family Tree Branches.
Sure.
Radical Face. They're Radical Face. I got it. Thanks. Great. Awesome. Let's go shopping and then call it an episode, and we will delve it next time.
Yeah. So, hey guys, so like, I don't know what's going on up there with Autumn Stars all acting real weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna find a better deal on all the stuff from anybody, I mean anybody in the downside. You can touch me when I tell you that, okay? So go ahead, stock up.
Oh, Ron.
Yeah, Ron, you are the only
Yeah.
person,
it's like
creature
there's-
selling stuff.
there's nobody else.
Yes, more drugs.
Uh,
I think we have outgrown drugs.
yeah, actually, yes. I don't think there's anything we can upgrade. I mean, I think he keeps them in stock anyway, so there's no harm in not buying them. But
Yeah,
what's this?
We still have some also.
Oh, this is nice. Permanently. For this, right? That's right. That's right. Permanently.
Yeah, but we don't have enough money. Yeah, we could sell our drugs.
No. We might need them. But I think I go for some scribe snuff to reset rookie.
Alright.
Yeah, and okay.
Oh, nice. That's one of them scrap snap thingers there, huh? One type of those little guys and you'll be like, ooh, know what I mean?
Yes, we perfectly know. Thank you, Ron.
They're pretty popular. But I've got my connections and they've got connections and they got their connections and they got plenty more of those. Yes, thank you. So just come and see me and Dad here later on. We ought to have one back in stock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you obviously do.
good to know.
So yeah, we'll do that off screen, I guess. There's no point in you see. Oh shit! Sorry.
Thank guys, good luck in that thing you're going to tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, you don't actually need us to see awkwardly wiping the brains of our team. So yeah, see you next time when we fucking finally free Delbert Oldheart.
Unless something else
Yeah,
goes
unless
wrong.
somebody throws a wrench into the gears, like fucking every time. But this time, I bet we make it. No problem. So yeah, see you then. Bye.